Hello friends, Miss Natalie here with another drawing exercise. Today we are going to draw a line of something. In this case we've got some cartoon lollipop trees that go in proportion back to the horizon line using 1-point perspective. So we'll start by drawing that horizon line. I like to make it kind of in the middle, but your horizon line can be wherever you want. And then we're going to choose a random spot. I choose you for our point, for our 1-point perspective. There it is. There's the 1 point. All right, and then we just decide how big is our first tree gonna be. I'm gonna do a little ghosting to make a nice circle for my lollipop tree, and I think I want it to be just as big above the horizon line as below. That'll make other things easier. So there we go. Sketching it out. I'm trying to keep my sketch pretty light. So it's easier to erase later. All right, and I'm going to now take that corner edge of my first lollipop tree trunk and line it up on my ruler to go back to my vanishing point. Now I'm making my lines pretty dark so that you can see them. You want to make your lines as light as you possibly can. So super light lines. Take that back to the vanishing point from this far side of the tree, and then I'm gonna take about where the tree trunk would be up here if it was, and take another line to my vanishing point. So we got the top of the tree and the bottom of the tree, and I'm gonna take a line here from where that trunk meets the lollipop of the top of our cartoon tree, and take that back there, and that will give me a good proportion for the top versus the trunk. Okay, so the next part, I'm just going to decide where do I want my second tree on this line, and I'm going to draw the top of the tree. Probably should have ghosted that, but it's about a circle that goes, yeah, that's going to be a lot of erasing, but that's okay. It's all right. Eraser is a great tool to use, and I've got a big one. Okay, so then I'm going to figure out what's the proportion of this top of the tree to that top of the tree. Why, it's about 2/3 maybe the size. Yeah, about 2/3 the size. So that means my trunk is going to be 2/3 the size of this trunk, and I know it's going to stop on this line and kind of be on that line. So how big? That trunk's about an inches. Okay, whatever. I can word. So this is going to be about. Seems a little big. Since I'm eyeballing it, I don't, I can eyeball this too. All right, and so I got my next trunk. Do that there, kind of eyeballing that as well. Honestly, maybe we should just take this and we'll figure out, okay, yeah, make it a little higher. All right, so there is a way to mathematically, using lines, I shouldn't say mathematically, but there's a way to use the vanishing point and the lines to figure out where your next tree goes. And I'm going to put a link in the description of an artist who does a much better job at explaining that than I could. So I'm just kind of gonna eyeball it, because we know as objects approach that vanishing point on the horizon, they look smaller, and objects in a line also seem to get closer together. So I'm gonna say it's got to be closer than this, right? So what if it's that close? That could work. Yeah, I'm just going to say that. I mean, these are, after all, cartoon lollipop trees. Is that too thick? That is too thick. Because remember, they get smaller. They got to still be in proportion. The key is to make one part look like it should go together with the other part. All right, so we're going to erase that. And now I'm going to just put a little bit of curve at the bottom to pretend like this might be three-dimensional, even though these are, as I said before, cartoon lollipop trees. And I can come in with my eraser. And this will give you time to do any fixing up. Perhaps you are still trying to do that third tree. While I'm erasing, you can work on your third tree or your second tree. And take this time to do that, to work on those parts that you're like, how do I do that again? All right, so there's some erasing done, fixing up the lines, and maybe even, oh, bottom line, we don't need that, unless there's like, they're planted on the edge of a road. Generally, trees, though, are planted off the edge of the road, so maybe we'll put the road in here. And there you go. We've got a line that are in proportion going towards the vanishing point, more or less in proportion. Again, link in the description if you want to have it in exact proportion, which would be really good if you were doing something more realistic than cartoon lollipop trees. Wow, this is just not great, is it? Oh well, at least I have my original example, which I think is much better. All right, go make art.